What would you say to others considering a career in sex work?
Be mentally prepared.
I didn't realize the sacrifices I would have to make.
Don't think it's easy because it's not.
Do the research. I'm on the fence about that.
I think it's a really empowering thing to do, but you have to be really strong also.
You need to have your heart in the right place to begin with.
First and foremost, always get a mentor and someone that's established.
Give it a try, honestly. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it.
Know who you are before you come in the industry, because the industry can change you.
Do your research. It's not for everyone, and you can't just do it for the money.
But I tried it, I liked it, and I've never been happier in my life, so I would say go for it.
I think it is a really empowering thing, but if you're not strong in yourself, then it can be really damaging. Of course it can. Like, you're pretty much comparing yourself to people all the time. People are gonna say fucked up things to you that book you. You're gonna feel shit when you can't make money or when people cancel and stuff. So you really have to know you have to have a lot of self-worth, because if you go into this job not having any self-worth or confidence, it could ruin you. It could make you feel amazing if you're in the right headspace, but I wouldn't say this is a job to do if you're not feeling really good mentally, no.
If you're a little bit sensitive, weak and stuff like that, don't go into the industry, because you'll start comparing yourself to others. Why is this person doing better than me? Your body, this and that. You start making changes to your body to fit in. You need to be really strong in your mind and confident within yourself.
Now the industry is shifting to digital, right? To computer stuff, to webcam, to OnlyFans. Unless you're really looking to make a career in the stripping industry or the sex industry, don't do it. Because with internet nowadays, people take short screen of your private video or private picture. Someone can blackmail you, or what's happened if your image is on the internet and HR is typing your name or using your picture and do a reversion image research, and then we can see you putting a banana in your vagina. They probably don't want this. They don't want someone that do sex stuff working for them. Because people stigmatize us, you also need to be aware of when you're going to leave this industry and you are going to come back to something more normal. So I would say, unless you really want to stay in the adult industry, don't go to virtual. Don't go to virtual job. I'm losing my English, but you know what I mean.
You have to prepare for the worst. Your family will find out, your friends will find out, your potential employers will find out. These are realities that we live with, that we have happened to us, and it is a hard life to hide because everyone is so interested in it. I wonder why. Because it is amazing. It's just, you need to think about if this is actually right for you or if you're trying to make a quick buck. Because it's a mistake. It could be a mistake.
Get a mentor and be really strong-minded that you want to do it, because once you start, your mentality's not going to be the same in many aspects. Once you have sex for money, your life's not the same in the sense of it might be fine, but you might also go in a bit of a bad headspace as well. I've seen it happen though, so just make sure you definitely want to do it.
I think you should do whatever you want to do if it's what you want to do. But also, as I said previously, there is a massive oversaturation in the industry right now, and a lot harder to make money. So that's the only reason I would say deter away from it. Or not the only reason, but a big one. And yeah, I think you should do whatever you want, but also I see a lot of, even though I did the same thing, I see a lot of 18-year-olds or 17-year-olds turning 18 that want to get into the industry. And I think I was lucky enough to be in clubs with girls who helped me, but especially it depends on the part of industry you're in and what area of the world you're in, I guess, and what your mentality is. But there are a lot of immature or very young for their age 18-year-olds that go into the industry, and I personally wouldn't say they're ready for it. But then again, do whatever you want and do whatever makes you happy.
Don't just be a yes person to anything that comes your way, because I did that. And I found myself doing stuff that I didn't necessarily want to do. And maybe that affects you a little bit later on because, it's out there and sometimes you don't want it to be out there. Be really confident within yourself. Don't think you're going to go into this industry and it's going to make you confident. 100%. Yeah. Know yourself 100% before you get into it.
Doing it because you think you're going to earn a lot of money really quickly, it's definitely not another reason to do it either.
I just see you making so much money and I'm like, what money? Like, where do you think,
Because what you don't realise is there are thousands of people just like you on escort directories competing for the same client.
I am not in a comfortable financial space. It's not as it looks like on the internet or in the movies. Just because you think that it's easy to make the money or quick, you'll be able to buy whatever you want, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a life-changing decision.
It's definitely not straightforward, and it's not by any means easy money, which a lot of people are looking at the moment, like, oh, when I get into that, I've been thinking of doing that, like it's, making bank. No, it's super hard work.
Where it's challenging is if you're not comfortable in who you are and you're not comfortable with your sexuality, then the chances of making a success in this industry is very fucking slim.
Be really, really confident. You don't have to have all the confidence, but be really, really confident in yourself. Know who you are before you come in the industry, because the industry can change you.
And I learned that really early on. So with me, particularly in Sydney, it was about learning my sexuality through the lives of other people. I had friends that were working as sex workers because their friends were working as sex workers. So they did it because of peer pressure and I guess by means of fitting in. And doing it to fit in is not a reason to do it.
Give it some time, really think about it, really think about what you consider about your online footprint. Think about what you want your online footprint to look like, because Google is a big thing. When something goes online, it's not going to come off. Even if you're doing it under an alter ego, if you're doing it under a different name, or if you think you're hiding yourself, someone from your life is likely going to find out about what you're going to do. And it's not necessarily the most safe industry. If you ever want to get a real job, people do consider this kind of stuff as a bad thing to have on your resume, pretty much. So if you've got skeletons in the closet, aka sex work from a previous life, as much as I think the world is changing towards this kind of stuff, it is not necessarily the best thing to have. So if this is not something that you seriously want to do in your life, really consider that.
It's not about sleeping with people, it's not about having sex on camera, it's not about having people pay you to spend time with them and that kind of stuff. It's not about making easy money, making big money. So if you're thinking about it from that point of view at all, like that factors into it, absolutely, because you do want to be achieving those things, but that isn't why you should be getting into it or what you should be doing. It's something to really think about and do your research. Anyone that has asked me that exact question, I've told them to do their research and I've given them directions on where to go looking. So definitely like Scarlet Alliance is a big one. And it's not as easy to get away from. Like you might be like 10 years down the track going for that corporate position or whatever, and someone will find it and pull it up. Someone will blackmail you. Someone will do some dumb shit. So you should be aware of that there's that whole side of things, how it's going to impact your relationships, your friends, family, partners, children, siblings, like whatever. Like I know people who've been bullied because their older sibling does porn. Depending on how that kid takes it, like they'll be like, yeah, my sister's awesome. Like she makes bank, she does this, whatever else. But of course, it's still going to, even if you're getting bullied for something that doesn't really bother you, it still bothers you. Like it still gets into you in some little bit.
In Victoria, we're the only state where you have to be a registered sex worker to be on websites. You got to use your real name, your address, personal information. And as soon as you have an SWA, it restricts you from going on holidays to certain places overseas, applying for certain jobs, studying certain degrees. A lot of people don't realize that like when you have an SWA, you can't go to certain countries or you can't do certain things. And I always say to them, it's written in the forms that you fill out. However, it is in the tiny, tiny, tiny little writing underneath it all where not many people read. So when they sign up, they don't see that initially because it's in the conditions where people just skim over. You gotta be willing to make sacrifices to be in this industry. You have to be willing to accept that you can get outed. Your kids or your future kids could see this. It stays with you for life, no matter how long you stay in the industry. Whether it be 6 months or 20 years, this is a part of you for life. I just tell people the honest truth. I don't sugarcoat it because no one sugarcoated it for me. No one told me this information when I decided to become an escort.
Out of curiosity, which countries don't allow you in? It's like Saudi Arabia or something?
America.
Hey, my name's Daniel Dalloway. I produced this mini-series. I'd first like to give a big thank you to everybody that agreed to be interviewed for it. I couldn't have done it without your support. If you'd like to watch the uncut interviews, head on over to Patreon. Otherwise, subscribe on YouTube or follow on Instagram, whichever you prefer. And I'll see you for the next episode, which will be hopefully in a week. All right, see you later.